What's up, everyone? Today is Halloween. Happy Halloween. I know this DIY project isn't going to get to you in time, but for next year or just some cosplay, I'm going to show you how to make this revolver into a powder gun where you could actually see the smoke and all its theatrics. So let's get into this DIY project and see what it's all about. So first off, the reason why I'm doing this is because I have a costume and it's the Wild West style costume, so Doc Holliday inspired. And I figured I have a CO2 revolver and I want to be able to show some theatrics. So the first thing you're going to need is, of course, baby powder, whatever it is you choose here, of course, CO2, and then whatever piece you have that you're going to use for your cosplay for Halloween or whatever you do on the weekend. A straw, a tamping straw is what this is. Some tissue paper or any type of napkin, maybe even toilet paper is thin enough as well, and a funnel. So of course, I'm gonna refine this a lot more. So I'm gonna create like maybe a tamping stick, 3D print one, and then the proper size funnel for the diameter of these rounds. But also, if you have like a BB gun of some sort, and if it's not airsoft, I mean, that's fine too. You could use that as well. The only thing that I recommend you doing to any weapon you choose, I recommend, like for this one, for instance, you take out this roll pin here. Should be two. So there's one up here and one right here. So you take that out and you remove the liner inside this barrel. So then that way you have a larger opening instead of a smaller one. Since this is airsoft, it'll actually allow me to do this with no big issue. The larger these are, your stops, what you're going to use for the top and bottom plug, could get stuck in there. So in the future, definitely consider taking that out. So once this whole front piece comes off, I mean, this whole thing will slide up. And then of course, this one here in particular, I took off that tip, and I need to clean the rest of that out. I just recently did it, and then that's all baby powder in there. So that's that. Okay, so to make the gunpowder kind of simulation, all I did was I got some baby powder, okay, and then I just take this cloth here. I don't roll them up into large balls or chunks like that because it could get stuck in your gun. If you do want to do this, it's probably a good idea to take out your barrel. So you remove that pin and that pin, take out your barrel and take out the tube. So that way you have a larger opening. Here I'm using an airsoft version of it, so it's a little bit larger than pellet gun. So in the future, I'm gonna definitely probably take out the barrel just so this works a lot better. And I just tear off a little piece like this. I slide it down in there, just across this hole. Of course, I took out the sleeve. These just pop out there, just like rubberized or silicone little seals. And then I took this and I just pressed it all the way down. This is a straw from like a WD-40 can. I mean, you could use anything that'll fit in here. I placed it like this and then compressed it down just so it would form a dish. And then I started off with this. I'm gonna design and 3D print a funnel that would work for this a lot better. But I'm gonna use this for now. Basically put this in here, fill it up with the baby powder all the way up to the top, and then just tear a little piece off like this and put it across and kind of compress it. And that should hold the baby powder in place for the most part. And the reason why you don't want to make them like hard and solid little like spit wad balls like this is because you don't want it to hurt anyone, especially if you're just shooting it off. Definitely don't aim this at anyone, but you know, it eliminates that potential if they're little flakes like this, okay? So now I'm just going to fill it up and then take off this and then put it on there, and I'll show you what it looks like. So with it filled up, it should look like that for the most part. And of course, I don't want to go all the way to the top because I'm going to put in that little gasket still, which goes all the way down to that ledge. And as you can see at the bottom, this is a loose fit. It's not very tight, and it holds the baby powder in relatively decent. Okay, so now I'm just gonna place a little piece like this over the top and then put that back on just to help hold everything in place. So this is what it should look like after you're done just lightly packing it in. Don't compress it crazy, just lightly pack it. I mean, if you're not going to use this for theatrics in like the house or something, of course you could probably pack these in as long as you take up the barrel, just because you don't want that kind of clogging up your barrel, and then you won't be able to actuate anything through that barrel or see any powder. So that's what it looks like. Now you just put that back on. Okay, so now we have all this put back together like that. Now we just insert it inside the actual cylinder. So just a reminder, make sure the cylinder, the round, is right before your hammer, just because as you cock this back, it's gonna engage it into that position. If you have it right here and you shoot it, it's actually gonna go to the next one as it rotates, and they'll end up in there. Of course, if you don't use the safety, you could actually leave a blank spot in the one before, so if you did accidentally cock it back, it doesn't go off. Okay, but with the mod that I did where it brings that hammer a lot closer, if I bump that hammer, it'll actually go off. So the modification that I did is so close to that it does potentially actuate it, and it might even actuate it even without that mod, just because if you push it forward hard enough, it'll actuate that little plunger in there. And so maybe that's why they have such a large gap, but that's probably also why you probably want to use the safety too. But now that we have that, now let's see it actually pop off. So as I pull back on the hammer, now it's engaged. Now we could actually see the theatrics of it, and then you'll see where it flies. So as you can see, it vaporized the paper towel that was in there, so you can see the smoke still. It kind of just flares out. So it's a pretty cool little thing I came up with just for a Halloween costume. Okay, but like I said, if you bump this forward, it will trigger that off. So don't want to do that, but so as you can see, there's some that actually didn't come out. It did come out through there and just blew right past it. And that's what I mean by if you pack it in too heavy. My bottom little stopper was a little bit thicker than the top or the end piece, and that's what happens. That's why I recommend taking out the barrel. I'll show you what I mean if this gets pressed forward. As you can see, it lost all the CO2. So the cool thing about this mod is the fact that you could actually do this and still use this as a functioning CO2 gun. So, I mean, no matter what you choose to do with it, it'll still function as the original intent, which is nice. And it's not going to hurt anything. I mean, the baby powder is just going to, kind of get in this area and if anything, kind of lubricate it. If you're shooting these, I don't know if these have like oil in them or something to like lubricate the seals. But if these are actually really old, maybe about 8 years old. So I had these for a while, but if any of the new stuff, I don't know if the new stuff might have some type of lubricant or it lubricates the seals as you're using it, but that stuff might start gunking up your baby powder and creating some issue. But for what I need it, I mean, this is all I use it for or I'm gonna use it for is this. So I picked this up secondhand. It didn't actually work, and I got it to function by doing some internal repairs. Okay, but that's my setup so far, and now I'll show you how to actually build this out. So all in all, if you're interested in any of this stuff, like some type of tamper that I come up with in the future, and then the funnel for the proper size so it holds each one of these rounds upright perfectly, and then you're able to fill it and I probably will have like maybe a gauge, so that way it's like it measures the volume out a little bit better. Definitely reach out to me in the About Me page. I'll look into it and come up with something, hopefully, by the time you reach out to me. But as of now, this is just a DIY project that I decided last minute to build out. So that's going to complete today's video. If you like this little project, definitely give it a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. If you want to see content like this and other content I'll be posting in the near future, consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.